It's no longer news that the People's Democratic Party has been plagued by internal crisis, massive defections have hit the party, with some governors of some state moving to the All Progressive Congress. Yesterday, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general elections, Atiku Abubakar, resigned from the opposition party. Atiku tendered his resignation in the build-up to the 2027 general election after admitting to the formation of a coalition party, the Alliance Democracy Congress. Joining us now to discuss the depletion of the PDP, with major stakeholders moving to other political parties and the emergence of the ADC, which some people feel might pose a threat to the APC, and the PDP's plan ahead of 2027 is Samuel Ortom, former governor of Benue State. Governor Ortom, great to talk to you again. How have you been, sir? It's been a while. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Rufai. Truly, I was on sabbatical to the press. And today I'm here. Thank God that I'm here with you.
And Governor, I'd like to extend my commiserations over the killings in Benue, because I know you were an advocate against those elements that destroyed the prospect of the people. In fact, your life was at risk. You were chased into the bush at some point. You were almost killed. It was just only by the sheer grace of God that you're still alive. So my commiserations, to you. And I know you would like to speak about Benue as time goes on. But Governor Ortom, I'd like to ask you something very important.
Thank you very much.
You worked against the PDP in the last elections. Why do you think you can save the party you worked against?
It's based on principle and what I believe. I did that simply because we had thought that PDP will stand for equity, fairness, and justice, which was what I believed. And unfortunately, they did not. Because I couldn't imagine that PDP, after 8 years of Northern presidency, we now say another 8 years or 4 years of another Northern presidency. We felt that it was wrong, because for us who believe in equity, fairness, and justice, especially the G5 at that time, believed that the presidency should go to the South. And when members of the PDP overwhelmingly accepted that the presidency should be in the North, we said no, it was wrong, because everyone knows here, for equity, fairness, and justice, we should allow presidency in the North for 8 years, and in the South, it should go for 8 years. I've already made my position known. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to pretend, and I have made it very clear. That was why I worked against the PDP in 2023 election. And I did say that even if I lose my senatorial election after serving 8 years as governor, it doesn't matter. But let it be known that there are people who believe in justice, equity, and fairness.
But some people will quickly ask that as a party man true and true, most of the time, the decisions of whoever emerged from a political party, the truth has to be said, are the decisions of the party. And the man a lot of you followed on this journey, Mr. Wike, had said he was going to accept the decision of the party. And at some point, there was a possibility that he could even be a vice presidential candidate or a running mate. If all of this had happened, that he still got a stake on that ticket as a running mate, would it have softened anything? Was this about your principle or Mr. Wike's principle that all of you went with? and you went against your party, what happens to the party discipline, as they say?
Rufai and the entire Arise family, I want to let you know that it is agreed for us as politicians, you are not one, but for us as politicians, we have always said that the interests, politics, the way it runs, whether you accept it or not, but the truth is that there is this greatest philosopher who says that politics is all about interests. No permanent enemy, no permanent friend. And everyone who is in politics is seeking about the interests of his community, is seeking about the interests of his people, is seeking about the interests of himself. Politics is selfish. And so, where your interest is not protected, you find something else. Yes, Wike is my friend. We work together until today and tomorrow. He still remains my friend. And if his interest was protected because we fought for him to be the candidate of the PDP in Nigeria, unfortunately he did not make it. We thought that he should be the running mate, and people drafted it. And I tell you, I was in the committee, 20-man committee that was made to design a running mate presidential candidate based on the candidate. And 16 of us accepted that it should be Wike. But somehow, the candidates and those that were in the leadership of the party decided to work against it. And so I tell you is that it's also about interest. But originally, what we wanted was that it should be a Southern candidate. And I'm glad that by the grace of God, it came out that a Southern candidate emerged as the president of this country. And we're happy that what we had proposed, it came to pass.
Okay, but quickly, because Vibai will have to take over now, and I'm so sorry. Somebody within your fold in the PDP, a top stakeholder, former stakeholder in the PDP said, but you were the chairman of the zoning committee that threw the primaries opened.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Somebody within your folk that used to be in the PDP, a top person in the PDP before.
Rufai, okay.
Can you hear? He said, but you were the chairman of the zoning committee that threw the primaries open, and now made Atiku emerge. And you were the chairman of the zoning committee. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I was the chairman of the zoning committee, but I couldn't overwhelm what the people wanted. And I reported back to the National Executive Committee that yes, this is the position of the committee. And somehow people felt that we should report back that it is impossible to talk about zoning in the north or zoning in the south. And so we should allow a free contest, because already before the committee went into work, people had already bought forms. Atiku bought his form, Wike bought forms, other people also bought. So the National Executive Committee was the final decision, because the committee that I chaired was just a subcommittee to recommend to the National Executive Committee. And it was decided that, well, let's go into a free contest, which was done. But everybody knew that after President Buhari's 8-year tenure, there was need for a southern candidate to emerge. If they had accepted that, all those things we discussed in the National Executive Committee, I was there, and if they had accepted that the presidency should go to the South, maybe things would have been different for PDP, but it was rejected, and it was said that, yes, let us go to it and allow a free contest, which was done.
Let me interject at this point, because, you know, the good thing about some of these developments is that they're well documented. And when you look at the documentation around it, it says that your committee, the committee you were chairman of, the zoning committee, gave a unanimous decision, which gave the recommendation to NEC. So it says you all, so what was the purpose of you having a committee meeting, coming to a unanimous decision to throw the ticket open and giving a recommendation to NEC if whatever the outcome of your committee was inconsequential? Then what was the point of creating a committee to begin with? So that's my first question to you. The second question is, with all these developments, you know, Nyesom Wike has already pledged that he will work for President Tinubu to ensure that President Tinubu gets his votes. So who's even left in the PDP to vote for the PDP? How are you sure that the people left in the PDP are even interested in supporting the PDP moving forward?
My sister, thank you very much. I think you should be commending me for being a chairman of a party or a subcommittee that was to zone the position of presidency, because I demonstrated that truly I was a Democrat. Even if you're a chairman of a committee, you don't just go there and say that this must be done, that must be done, and so on. You allow the decision of the people that you chair to lead, and you coordinate it and make it work. That was the decision of the committee. So there is no point talking about Samo Ortom. Talk about the committee itself. If I had said, look, even though you have accepted that the presidency should be drawn open, but I say it should go to the South, you know what reaction the committee members will do and what report. But the day we came to NEC committee and I gave that report, nobody revolted because it was their decision. So I only coordinated. I was an ordinary member of the committee for the zoning committee. I didn't have the supreme power to decide that it must go here. So it was the decision of the zoning committee. So I want you to understand that that was what led to me presenting it. So the decision was NEC. It was NEC that set up that committee. It was NEC, the same NEC that decided that it has to be thrown open. And that was done. And at the end, that went on. The second issue you have raised, it is very clear. Wike is a minister of the Federal Capital Territory working with President Bola Tinubu. After all efforts to ensure that we had a southern candidate failed, Wike and some of us decided that, yes, it has to be a southern candidate. Even as I talk to you now, we met recently. We, as those who align with our friend Wike, and we say that, look, it's needless. if Buhari, with all the challenges that he had, made it 8 years, what stopped the South from making 8 years of presidency in this country? It will be unfair. And that is where we stand. And I can tell you that that is what I believe. Because we all know that it is in the unwritten constitution that presidency should be between North and South. 8 years in the North, 8 years in the South. How can you say that the South will have 4 years and then it goes back to the North? It doesn't make sense to me.
But why couldn't you influence that same thing within your own party? Why couldn't your own party agree on the same principle? If it's such an important principle, surely your party should...
I told you, you my sister, one thing that I think you're ignorant of is that I am not the party. I'm an individual. And I can make my proposal. I can suggest to the party. But if the party feels otherwise, it is their responsibility. It is no longer mine. So I am just an individual. And I made my proposal. I supported Southern candidate. The party said, well, let us allow a free contest. And that was done. And the result was what you saw. But even after that, we made efforts to see how we can mediate and solve the problem. But unfortunately, those who had control never listened to some of us, and that was what brought us to where we are. So we should accept what we have today as God's ordained. Remember, for me, as a child of God and somebody who believes as a student of the Bible that power belongs to God, He giveth it to whosoever He wills. Whatever you do, if God decides that it should be this person, the person will be there. You cannot stop the person. So for me, I feel that God has designed that to happen.
Indeed. Okay, well, I mean, first and foremost, I think Vimbai, just like the rest of us, is well aware that you're an individual, but I think the point that she's making still stands, that if you believe, as staunchly as you do now, that there should be 8 years to the south and 8 years to the north is something that you should have implemented when you had the power vested in you by virtue of your opinion. That being said, let's look ahead to the future. Of course, 2027,
sorry,
just a second, sir.
I didn't have the power before me.
Go ahead.
I didn't have the power before me. I told you I chaired a committee that was made up of several other people, experienced older people.
But you were the chair.
Who were in that committee.
A level of seniority,
and
yes.
We discussed. As a Democrat, I needed to allow them. And I presented the views of democracy before the NEC, and NEC accepted it that way. So why do you turn back to say that I would have turned it around? So if I had done that today, you'll be saying that I'm a tyrant. I went there as a member or chairman of a committee, and I decided to turn the entire committee to what I wanted. I didn't want that. Everybody knew that me, I stood for Wike. I was supporting him because I knew in PDP, mind you, in PDP, I knew that Governor Wike then was a candidate to beat. But when the committee members came out, and there were more in their numbers, and insisted that it has to be a free contest, I had no choice. That to go back to NEC. And I went back to NEC, and NEC accepted that it should be a free contest. Right. That was what happened. So there is no way you can come now and blame me for not
but was it not a unanimous decision?
Or presenting a report?
Sure, the decision itself, was it not unanimous? I believe you said it was.
It wasn't unanimous.
But
there was a divided
house.
But overwhelmingly, those people who said it should be a free contest were more.
Sir, but did you not say it was a unanimous decision? So were you lying when you said it wasn't a unanimous
forget
decision?
About that. If I say that, it was wrong for me to have said that. The people fine, I apologize. Those people who said it should be a free contest were more. But there were others, like even me as the chairman of the committee, we wanted that it should be a southern candidate. But more people agitated that it should be a free contest. And that was what I presented to NEC. And NEC adopted that, well, it should be a free contest. And that was what happened.
Let's look ahead to the future. 2027 is around the corner, and you've made clear on this show in the press beforehand that you are staunchly behind a southern candidate. Looking at the PDP, who do you think should emerge? Who would you throw your weight behind to lead the PDP out of this issue and become the next president?
I cannot say that. I'm not in a position to say that. One thing I have said, as far as I am concerned, as an individual, as Samuel Ortom, I have said that I will support a southern presidential candidate of my party. Okay. If anybody who is in my party decides to contest, that is a different thing. But for now, I am supporting a southern presidential candidate. I see no reason why I should support a northern presidential candidate. 2031, if anybody from the south says that he wants to contest presidency, I will say no.
Okay.
Based on what I believe.
Okay, so.
Because it should come to the north.
To the north. Oh, okay. Real quickly, I'd like to ask you this. It was a unanimous decision that the party should throw it open based on this committee report, right? And what the NEC wanted. The party collectively agreed on this decision. True or false, sir?
No, I think you're trying to box me to a corner.
No. I'm just trying to ask. Okay,
let me tell you.
Was it unanimous decision?
I have said it. The people who said the presidency should be allowed for free contest, but north and south were there. There was no agreement. But at the end, let me correct myself. At the end, it was decided that, well, since there is division between us, that the presidency should be allowed to be free for north and south, and others felt strong that it should be for the south.
Okay.
Let us take it back to NEC.
Okay.
And present it. We presented it, and NEC agreed that it should be free for north and south.
Okay, very good.
Don't arrogate that to me.
Okay, so
it wasn't me. Okay, it was the decision of the NEC. I presented the report of my committee as was discussed.
Okay, so you presented your report, and you did a fabulous job at your report, I must confess. And you presented the report, and NEC said it should be thrown open, right? So it was thrown open.
Exactly.
So where is Atiku's fault here? And why did you support Wike in cannibalizing your party over a decision of your party that you were part of the decision-making process?
Well, you have what you believe and you trust in. I have told you, even that after the decision of NEC, we try to see how we can coordinate and make sure that we work together. But the candidate and the leadership of the party at that time did not provide the enabling environment for Wike and some of us who were supporting him to work to ensure the victory of the party. Look, I have told you before that politics is all about interests. No permanent enemy, no permanent friend. So if I believe in something and it doesn't work, and there is some other belief that can also protect my interests, we work with it.
Okay.
This was denied.
Okay, but
and we said no. Our original program and faith was that a Southern candidate should be produced. So
okay. So with due respect, all of this with what you said was Wike's agenda. Was Wike's plan B in a case he did it with? Because your words, not mine. You said the party did not create an enabling environment for Wike. So it was not about the party's decision.
The party and the candidate. I say the party and the candidate.
And the party and the candidate did not create an enabling environment for Wike. So once that didn't happen, Wike's next agenda was to now go to a conversation on zoning that the party had concluded on to keep open, that Wike also agreed to before he entered the primaries. Because if Wike was not comfortable with it, he shouldn't have gone into the primaries, isn't it?
Let me tell you, Rufai, I hope that one day when you retire from what you're doing, you also join us in politics. And you also appreciate the fact that politics is about interests.
Okay.
Don't blame anybody. Because you must protect your interests. First, that is the first thing you must do.
Okay.
And so what do you want Wike to do? What do you want me to do? Those of us who were supporting Wike and all that, what do you want us to do? When the leadership of the party at that time, which Vice President Atiku Abubakar bought over, what will you do when all those people who were supporting Atiku Abubakar wanted to put us as second-class citizens? If you are the one, what will you do?
Okay.
What will be your interest if Atiku becomes president?
So
that's the whole thing.
So if I was the one like Wike did, I would take two options. I would either use the Peter Obi option and go, or if I don't emerge, I would destroy the party. And probably that's why you people went on the bandwagon and worked against the party. But you see, a lot of people
Peter Obi was not PDP now. Me, I went for Peter Obi. Peter Obi was not PDP. But we agreed that for strategic partnership, let us do it in such a way that we will prove that we are also there.
Okay.
And we did it.
Okay, so
Wike went for Tinubu. I went for Peter Obi. And others went for whatever they wanted. We in the G5. And at the end, we have this government that is in place. So if God has given us a government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, why can't we support him?
Okay, I appreciate you.
That is what we stand for.
I appreciate you, sir. A lot of people, I've been getting a lot of messages from Benue, and they're saying, you talk about fairness so much, but why is it only the thief people that emerge most of the time for top leadership positions in Benue? And why can't you fight for fairness for other groups too in the States? That's what some people said to me.
Thank you very much. I have fought for that. And I have told other ethnic groups on what they need to do. I think that is the best I can do. I have told them, look, in Benue State, I agree with you that it is unfair for the tip people to be occupying governorship positions since the creation of Benue State. But the truth is that in politics too, you talk about majority of the people. The T people have zone A and B. The Doma people have zone C. And as far as I'm concerned, I have told them, look, this thing, as long as we continue to argue, it will not work. What we need to do is to come into dialogue with the two ethnic groups, major ethnic groups. Because even if we go to Zone C, as I talk to you today, the Igede people who are from Zone C are complaining about marginalization. The Doma are complaining about marginalization of the T people against the Doma people. So what they need to do is for us the entire elite, the entire traditional council, all stakeholders should come together and agree that, look, let us find a way of solving this problem.
Okay,
and agree.
Sir.
Otherwise,
Okay, sir.
if you today, as I talk to you, let me conclude. As I talk to you, if you give a governorship candidate in Zone C, and you allow other party, whether a minority party, to give a governorship candidate in Zone A and B, there will be problem. So my take is that I believe in fairness, equity, and justice. And I have told all those who are concerned that, look, let us come together, discuss this and agree, so that any contest that comes up, let us allow Zone C to produce gubernatorial candidate, and at the end of the day, whoever comes from there will be a candidate.
I'm so sorry to rush you.
I have nothing against it.
I'm so sorry to rush you. We just want to conclude it just in one sentence. Now that Atiku Abubakar has left the PDP, do you now feel that there's an enabling environment for your interests to be served and for your candidate who you're supporting to finally be able to pursue his presidential ambition?
If anyone comes up at all, we can talk about that. But if anyone doesn't come up, we already have a Southern president. Why can't we allow things to work out? For some of us, we believe in Southern presidency. If at the end we have a candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the South, we can talk about it. But if we don't have...
But for now, you can just endorse President Tinubu, right? For now, you can just support President Tinubu.
All righty. Well, thank you very much for your conversation. That was former Governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom.